You're listening to the Devil Dog Talk Show.
This show contains explicit material and is recommended for ages 18 and older for mature audiences only. But hey, it's the internet.
Howdy, folks. This is the Devil Dog Talk Show, and today we have Lance Price and Tyler Southern from Still Fucking Here, SFH. We got a lot going on with them, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves one by one and then kind of give us a breakdown about SFH. So let's go with Lance first. Since
awesome.
you were the guy with the most problems so far the morning. I'm just kidding. It was my end. I couldn't hear you.
So let's see. We're not starting from the start of the morning. We're going to start from here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
No, hey, thanks for having us, man. Like you said, we started this great business. We are SFH, clothing and apparel. Still fucking here to let anybody out there know that no matter what you're going through and what you've been through or what kind of lifestyle you're dealing with, whether you're dealing with cancer or anything like that, as long as you're still fucking here, we're here to support you and we love you. And that's what we got. We're both veterans. I did 18 plus years in the military as a Navy corpsman. And Tyler did a little less, but that's not his fault. So he'll explain a little more. Go for it, buddy.
All right, I'm what's left of
just a little bit less
of Tyler Southern. Huh?
Did you say I'm what's left of Tyler Southern?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a factually accurate statement.
That is a factually actual statement. That is accurate.
The fact checkers cannot deny this.
Yeah. I would say the fact checkers can try, but so I'm what's left of Tyler Southern. I was a corporal in the Marines. I joined in 2007, and in 3 years, almost to the date, stepped on 10 pounds of homemade explosives in southern Afghanistan 2 months into my second deployment, resulting in the immediate amputation of 3 limbs and the mangling of my remaining, and had to spend 2.5 years in the hospital at Walter Reed Bethesda doing limb salvage and my rehabilitation. Medically retired in 2012. And then, we started this company about 3 years ago because, one, I never wanted to leave any of the guys in my situation in a lurch or feeling like no one gets it or anything like that. And then I wanted to spread that to anyone and everyone who is proud of their fight. So, again, like he said, no matter what it is you fought through and got on the other side of, or what you're currently fighting, or what you're about to fight, we are proud of the warrior in you. And cancer, abuse, addiction, just getting control of your health, or getting back to it after an injury or an ailment. If you're still fucking here, we are for you. And we want y'all check us out at wearesfh.com.
Yeah.
Join our mailing list.
Awesome. Join the mailing list. Check out the
podcast. Lance wanted me to say that for sure.
Got it.
You nailed it.
It's in there.
You nailed it. It couldn't have been more perfect. All right. So a little bit about SFH. How did you guys start that? And what was the real motivation? I know you guys said to let people know, to unify the community, to bring people together, to kind of bring out that warrior essence in all of us for all of the different, it sounds like trials, tribulations, adversity. And of course, for the veteran community, like a gentleman yourself, Tyler, you laugh about it, but you've been through a tremendous amount of adversity. And, you're here, you're bright, you have a great personality. You do the podcast, one and a third. Did I nail it?
Yes.
Okay, 1 1/3.
Me and Zach Polk do the SFH Presents the 1 1/3 podcast. And he has dealt with his depression his whole life, on the darker end of it all, and the white knuckling it. And he's been a musician for damn near 40 years. And me and him both tackle mental health and the struggles that we have dealt with from the different slants, because I am an inordinately happy person.
And that's great, because bringing those two different types of personalities, although you may feel the same thing, you bring about it in a different perspective, which I love and I vibe with.
Balance.
Yeah.
Yin and yang, push and pull, hui and la. Oh, sorry. That is a Avatar: The Last Airbender reference.
And I mean, if you're in the median, you're going to lean one side or the other. Whether you're going to be that dark guy and get Zach a little better, or you're going to lean to the other side and get Tyler a little better. So it gives an option for anyone. Okay, well, here's the giddy guy's side of it, but I'm not the giddy guy. I'm the other. Oh, so there's his. So it works out really well.
Yeah, and then we like to have survivors on as well, and have them tell us about what got them through X, Y, or Z, and not so much make a roadmap for people, but more or less, hopefully, anyone who sees it knows they're not alone, and that if they thought they were doing something that no one would understand, they now get that someone gets it. And if that only drives them to keep pushing, yay. If that ends up giving them something that they can use in their struggle, fuck yay.
Tyler has a really good analogy with SFH and what it symbolizes, the uniform analogy that you like to use, or the jersey analogy.
Oh, yeah. So we're not a clothing company. We are a team and a community of fighters. So like, this isn't a hoodie I'm wearing. This is a jersey, so that anyone else who sees me wearing SFH knows that we're on the same team. Like, no matter what life wants to throw, we're gonna figure it out.
So it's not just a brand, it's a support system. And that's what I really dug about all your guys' posts, of course, in the podcast, and even your hoodie, your jersey, I should say, says alive out of spite. You know, I've been through that myself a bunch of times. You mentioned depression. We've talked a little bit about TBI, equilibrium, injury. Lance, you bring up the fact that you were a corpsman for 18 years. Yeah, that's a long time. Like, that's a long time.
Plugged a few bullet holes in my time. That's
awesome. He's had his fingers in a few fellows.
Yeah, been elbows deep in a few asses.
Found out there was more than one use for tampons very quickly and very young in life.
Yeah,
facts.
Dude, as a corpsman, what was your experiences like, and what was that bringing into SFH, this community? Again, bringing that attitude of always trying to save life. Again, I'm peeling back the layers as a corpsman. I'm already kind of hinting at it.
I mean, the thing with me was I was one of those docs, and because being frontline, you probably relate. I was one of those docs that wanted to be close to my Marines, but didn't want to be in the same time. When I got out, I started regretting that, because there's a lot that I wish I still kept in touch with that I no longer do, because I knew that if I had to work on this Marine, I don't know if I could do it being their best friend or something like, or to that point. So I didn't get as close to them as I wish I would. So by building the community that when I first started getting out, I worked with a bunch of different nonprofits, primarily veterans. And then the more Tyler and Brian Wise, our other partner, the three of us talked about everything, the more everything aligned. And look, we don't want to do the better good just for veterans, because there's a whole much bigger population out there that's in need of help. Why don't we open something up to let somebody know that, hey, we want to shine this beacon, this SFH beacon, saying, you're not alone. We've been through shit and we're still fucking here, and we want to help you out. And that's from there on. I mean, it's been smoke. I mean, for the past 3 years, we're just going, bro.
You are not alone.
See, and that's what I love about it, because you guys are bringing in the appeal of, hey, as long as you don't give up, you're giving yourself the opportunity for a better tomorrow. We're not promising shit. It's not going to be easy. Like the only easy day was yesterday bullshit. That's a great thing, to say. Yep. But let's be honest.
That is a Navy thing.
And the lungs are still expanding, brother. You're still here. You can do something about it.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's a Navy ass quote you just pulled out, by the way.
It was hella Navy.
Was hello Navy. Sorry, East Coast. I still haven't caught on to the hella and hecka of it all.
Yeah, no, hella and hecka is like such a California West Coast thing, and I really fell in love with it. My RDC, when I was in boot camp, really pointed that out. He was like, "You from California, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Why? Like, do you want to know how I know?" I'm like, "No, yes, okay,
maybe, officer. I'm not sure."
I was like, you're either from there or you spend a great deal of time there because no one else says that bullshit.
Yeah, I said hella a lot, like hella. This is hella hard, off petty officer, and all this other thing. I'm hecka tired, sir. You know, all that shit, and he grilled me. He put some extra work.
And then the Midwest fucking drills, sergeant. What do they call them in the Navy?
RDC, recruit
RDC.
drill.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Midwest, East Coast, Northeastern, whatever fucking RDC you got is just like, the fuck is a hecka?
What the fuck is a hecka? That
what are you tacking a boot?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Especially
Which
with like,
boot?
and you get the you get all the different flavors of human beings in the military. So interesting.
Breach.
So that's the reason why I'm so happy to hear about what SFH is really pushing and bringing together, because the military is a melting pot. And that's something that I speak a lot about.
Yeah.
There's so many different groups of people, different types of interests, different cultures and communities. And if you can get it right with any group or community, like the veteran community, I think we can get it right with the bigger, larger society as a whole.
Well, yeah, because it's a social experiment.
Exactly.
You have this guy from urban place, this guy from suburban place, this guy from fucking the Appalachian Trail. Like, you got a million different people. And then you realize that it's funny, you don't realize how different y'all all are because you have the same haircut, you have the same clothes, you're yelling the same shit, you're running the same course. But then you get leave for the first time and you got a motherfucker wearing lederhosen or like, dude, like you like, oh my, what are you? Like, what is this sense of style, if that's what you want to call it? Like,
how did this human being compile into what I'm seeing? Like,
it was like, you're wearing knee-high socks and lederhosen, and you're about to go out in town right now? Like,
that is so true.
Hey, do you, bruv?
Yeah, do you? And what you guys are bringing together is that attitude of, regardless of history or experience, the attitude of trying to get through to tomorrow, right? Still fucking here is something that I really vibe with. Just saying that to myself at night or in the morning, like it's hecka hard. It's hella hard.
Yeah.
To really
you take that breath and it just comes out, man. It's
really is. I'm still fucking here. Yeah. Like sometimes I wake up in the morning. We were talking about this. Tyler made a post the other day or yesterday about chronic pain and how you push yourself to really, I don't want to say bottle it up, but that's kind of what you're doing. You're bottling it up, you're hiding it, you're pushing it to the side because you're trying to save face and you're trying to appeal to your greater common sense of societal normatives. And what you put was, I'm fine. And then, oh my fucking God, I was just fucking in.
A little too hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta make sure your dad still respects you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt on it. It's fine. Like that, the fuck. Like, I did this 40 years ago. You're an idiot. Like,
yeah.
That's not my dad. But, like, that's kind of the gist, was more the whole push through it. My motivation, at least initially, was my family. They were all so giddy when I first woke up from the medically induced coma that I couldn't break their hearts by being like, oh, look, I liked my legs so much. One of my favorite activities was running. I was like, I had a real connection with my right pinky toe. No, but so a lot of it was just like, make sure they don't see me sweat. And then it became how I handled it all anyways. That, and I refused to be rude to the nurses. There was a lot of people in the ICU. I could hear them just being dicks. And like, I have all the excuse to be because I looked like this a week ago and now I look like this. And I'm just like, no. That woman comes in with her pink Crocs on and we're having a good time. Like, we're laughing, we're smiling. I'm going to make her giggle. And if she leaves without giggling, I'm going to be pissed. And then the next time she comes in, I'm doubling down. Like, my goal each day when I couldn't move in the bed yet was to motivate somebody, inspire somebody, get somebody to laugh. And it worked. It's I love you, please go. Yeah, I love you. I love you with all of my heart. Please go.
I have to do the same thing with my kids all the time. I completely understand that. I even understand the face where you're like, Look, I'm trying to
Yeah,
give
you
you
hit
as
it.
much
Go.
love in my eyes right now, but also move. You know,
Yeah.
Let's go.
little homie's
Buddy,
cute voice is just so much. I can hear him in the background go.
Yeah, he made it. My chair's kind of in the way, so he can't get all the way over to me. But so for the guests, the viewers, my son's on the spectrum and speaks to me a lot of the time through his pop dolls, the vinyl pop dolls. And he currently has Alien from Toy Story.
Yes.
And it comes out very high pitched and silly.
Gotta love that high pitch. He's got like, what is it, 2 or 3 of them, that high pitched voice. Ooh.
Yeah, Alien.
Take hearing aids out when he's over there.
Yeah. Alien, Chip from Beauty and the Beast, and Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland are very high pitched.
Oh no.
Go get Cogsworth if you want to talk to me, bro. Cogsworth and Buzz and them, they got more of a, and I always want to talk to them. I love you. I'm in the middle of something. Please.
So do you find it the frequency? Like the frequency or the pitch, you know?
It's hard to hear. So my tinnitus and there is hearing loss on the right side. My son, I love you. Please go back out there. Please. Thank you so much. I was a gunner as a mortarman, so my head was already right by a base plate for a while. And I would wear the One Hearing Pro because I needed to hear the calls. So my hearing wasn't the best thing that ever happened to anybody anyways. And then stepped on a bomb that shouldn't have left pieces of me to find. So my right eardrum was blown into my middle ear and they had to dig it out. I did the tympanoplasty, but it still kind of sounds like I'm underwater. Tympanoplasty is when they cut the back portion of your ear, again, for the guests, I know y'all know. And then they take a membrane off of a muscle and make it your new eardrum.
It's a badass procedure. Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, so in the movie or the TV show where the bomb goes off, and then for the next however long, there's that.
I just think about living with that all the time. So
that. But also, I can't handle that scene, not because, oh, he's been blown up, PTSD, he's having flashbacks.
No,
I'm like, no, hurts. That high-pitched bullshit is piercing my brain box.
Yes.
My computation apparatus is just, it's not, things are pinging.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then sometimes the tinnitus will crank up to 13, and I can't hear a soul. My brain feels like it's splitting in half, and I'm just like, I'm doing this shit. Trying to get it to stop, and people are like, "What's up, dude? What's going on? What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "If you're talking to me, I can't right now." Like when you got headphones in and you're just screaming at everybody. I can't hear myself think. You think I'm going to talk at a normal volume?
Yeah. No, you bring that up. Lance brought it up too with your hearing aids. Okay, and I want to move in both directions for the both of you. That way you get a little piece of everybody today, everybody listening. With your hearing aids, what was that around? Was it through repetitive hearing?
So I've had the adventure of multiple different things.
Please.
First part of hearing loss that I dealt with was when I was a corpsman at SOI, and one of the geniuses decided to not reach the grenade over the pit, and it fell into the pit. And I was close enough to get a nice little, that was my first ruptured TM. Then I think it was probably every deployment I had to hit something that ruptured my TMs, and a couple of in the vehicle close calls, and then a really close call exterior of the vehicle. We were doing an exterior. We had to dismount, walking on bilateral sides of a Ford vehicle. We're front man checking for IEDs. I'm third man back, of course, not front man. Sergeant, corporal, myself. And when they came upon the IED, luckily the IED was set at the wrong angle. When it went off, it threw the sergeant into the corporal back to me, and all the reverberation from the blast itself is where my TBI came from. With the multiple deployments and the TBI, I ended up doing a total of 7. And
7 deployments.
Yes, and the PTSD got a bit unreal. I was diagnosed with it in 2007. I didn't find relief from my PTSD until 3.5, not even 3.5 years. It's been less than 3 years actually, until I found my relief for my PTSD. And what I can say for everyone out there is, whatever you're going through, there's something out there. Do not give up on yourself.
What's
So,
working for you for your PTSD?
I was going to
if you
say,
remind me?
Lance,
Yeah.
I'm curious what worked for you.
Me too.
You have to make that face.
Yeah.
Well, because they know I know the answer because we're dear friends.
No, there is this awesome procedure that come to find out not many people knew about, that I got the luxury of finding out about myself. And it is called the SGB shot for PTSD. It is the Stellate Ganglion Block, which is just what it sounds like. They put something into the stellate ganglion, the ganglion nerve in the neck, that is responsible for your fight or flight mechanism. All they're introducing into that area is lidocaine. They are putting that nerve to sleep, and when the nerve wakes back up, it's less agitated than it was than before. So it makes it easier to control your it makes it easier to control your PTSD symptoms than them controlling you. And it's been a life changer for me, and that's why I'm trying like hell to. That's why we want to help all these other people. We found something that's worked for us.
Yeah.
Whether it's you with your Funko Pops, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We found something that helps us and brings joy to us, and one of those things is helping others. And fuck, we're gonna keep doing it as long as we're still fucking here.
See, and that's something that's beautiful, because you bring up the ganglion block that a lot of people, I'm more afraid of it, not because of who's doing it. If the VA's doing it, I'm sorry. I mean, if anybody that has a great experience with the VA, my hands to you, tip in the hat. But my relationship with the VA is, I'm not even going in there for them to wipe my ass, because I might come out with a leg or less, And so I'm like,
which is no fun.
It's not.
I promise.
No.
Yeah,
From
Tyler,
what I'm hearing,
Tyler knows firsthand.
I'll miss my pinky toe the most.
Firsthand.
He knows firsthand. Oh,
I was right-handed in real life, Doc.
Oh my God. But, bringing in the conversation piece of both, wanting to continue to help people, and then finding the things that work to help mitigate or manage symptoms, because that's really what it is. You described the pain management earlier about utilizing cannabis, and it's really great for nerve pain. I found it to be amazing for nerve pain and amazing for anxiety. I've been using cannabis since 2011. The day I got out, like literally walked into the shop and was like, let's go. Yeah.
All of my zombie medicines that the VA was giving me went out the fucking window, and I went and got my card.
Exactly. Same. And so I started growing for myself. Right. And it took years, to get the strains the way I wanted it, and to get the things in the breeding that I wanted. And I met a lot of great people within cannabis. Let me just put it that way. Okay. Like, I met so many wonderful people in cannabis that what you're doing with SFH is what I really want to see the world to do with cannabis, is like, we're still fucking here. Let's get fucking high. Like, I mean, all this crazy shit that's happening right now. I mean, can we take a deep breath of some marijuana, please? For me, especially after this whole Trump assassination attempt, I'm like, I read into it. We did a great episode with a sniper, Marine sniper dude, JR, sorry, on Monday. Really interesting stuff.
We got one down too.
Yeah. But you guys know what I mean. It's like, you get to know what hey, we're looking at each other behind, the whole process of putting a show on, and going like, hey guys, like, the fuck is going on right now? And so, like, for me, I'll go and just smoke a joint, and then it just brings those levels back down to a manageable pace. So my interest is, what does the ganglion block do for you? Because I know what weed does for you, but go ahead, Tyler.
Hi.
He's excited.
That was funny. I was gonna backpedal to this exact thing. So yay. He mentioned that it changed his life, and I watched it happen, because before he got the shot, I didn't know him. We were barely acquaintances.
God bless you.
Bless you? Question mark? Thank you. But so he was a guy I met in a bar a couple times with the dog at his feet, didn't speak anything, like barely spoke. It was, and how you doing? That kind of thing. And he was just a shell of a dude, which I get. Some people don't care for social interactions, especially a bar. It's packed as shit. And the service dog was just flat, boom, right between his legs, no matter what, without fail. And I would have never known this motherfucker. I wouldn't have had one of the dearest friends I've ever had in my life if he didn't get the shot. SFH would not have Lance on the team if he didn't get the shot. Lance has been a supporter since the very beginning. Big time, huge help with so much stuff. And we've made him an owner with us since, but he never got to any of that if he didn't get that shot. Because, man, the very next time I saw him after he got that shot, which he went home and slept 18 hours and, had a mini hibernation.
And 2 to 4 hours a night if I was fucking lucky, bro. If I was lucky.
So
2 to 4 a night.
I want to ask you about that because
whole new dude.
Yeah. Okay. I go through that still to this day. I have PTSD. I'm very open about it. Multiple mild TBIs, multiple fucking eardrums, the same type of shit. My retina's been lacerated or whatever they call detached retina from injury. And I'm like, all this crazy shit, right? And so then on top of it, you have the pain scale. You have, I run down the list. It's called FALT or P-HALT, right? Am I in pain? Am I hungry? All this simple stuff. Am I angry or agitated? Am I lonely or am I tired? And I run through that. But hearing what you're saying about that shot, I'm like, well, shit. That sounds pretty fucking cool. So you go in, it's a one-day procedure.
There's no negativity to it. You try it doesn't work, then you move on to the next fucking thing. Yeah. Like I said, it's lidocaine. It absorbs naturally into your body anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not the booster. It's not the COVID shot where you're going to grow a tail if it doesn't work.
You're not going to walk out with clots.
It works or it doesn't. Like, it's literally because Zach got it, my podcast mate. He didn't follow the rules. You're supposed to go home and rest and go to sleep and fucking hibernate like Lance did. But it may not work. It's not fully proven. It's not 100%. But if your choices are pain, anguish, eventually losing your family, eventually losing your life, all these other things, or maybe it's all gone.
Yeah, but if
you're not going to turn that stone over and try.
Yeah.
If I told you somebody who went through so many different fucking things trying to get rid of PTSD to where they even put lasers into my brain at one point, it's like it's a done deal. And the first time it's an 83% success rate. If you end up having to get it done on both sides, which I think most providers do both sides now anyway, it has a 93% success rate. And it's just lidocaine. Guess what? Big Pharma ain't getting all this fucking money, and we can take care of people that's dealing with PTSD. It's a win-win to me.
No, that sounds like an amazing tool in the toolbox.
Yes. Yeah. So I was gonna say, you'd mentioned the VA doing it. A charity did it for Lance.
Yes.
So he didn't even have to worry about that. Where they're shooting in some freaking virus because 8 people touched it.
Exactly.
Or something crazy. Yeah. Some
training
osmosis
hospital.
Jones.
Everybody's finger fucking everything. Yeah.
No, the person who did it to me was trained by the person who originally came up with the SGB for PTSD.
Holy shit.
So it was actually a Navy SEAL commander was doing, I believe had a neck fracture like myself and introduced lidocaine into that area. And he came back the next day and said, "What did you do with me, doc? I slept all fucking night and I feel better."
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
Holy shit.
Boom.
That's the thing that I love about research medicine. We've talked a lot about stuff right now that I've had experience working in research, starting out in, I would say 2005. And then I really got to really practice a lot of these interesting things that we're discussing in 07, 08, 06, 07, 08. I would say 06, 07 the most because I was with the building. It was a Army. Let me try and make this shit make sense. So it was the CID department, which a lot of people hear of because of the Army stuff, and it's like, oh, criminal investigations. like, no, it's the Navy and the Army. It's Clinical Investigations Department. And then a DAR, which is Department of Animal Research. So I got to work with the Department of Animal Research attached to the Army. And we got to do something that you really interest me with the tympanic membrane surgery and all that good stuff. We worked on a study with chinchillas to recreate the effects of hearing loss. Okay, so we would expose them to air blast waves. So the thing about blast waves in general is that they're omnidirectional, right? And the brain isn't encapsulated to take in any kind of hit omnidirectionally. It's fixed in the front and the back.
It really enjoys being used like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, exactly. So what we found out during this study to try to emulate, air blast waves to the ear and the hearing, and we would remove the cochleae and then preserve it and all this crazy shit, right? What we were realizing is that they were causing microvasculature damage into the brains. So at the smallest level of brain damage, right, we're seeing the largest degrees of shifts in personality and behavior. Because what we didn't understand, and this was like really right there at that point, is that the microvasculature in your brain is extremely important and extremely sensitive. So these blast waves were hitting these chinchillas, and for years they were doing this study, for at least one or two. And then finally one of the doctors was like, hey, we should be using this to also figure out what the fuck's going on with the brain, because, hey, it's a twofer. You get two for one out of the animal. And it was such an interesting time, because for me, coming back from Iraq, where I was with the STP unit in FRIS, where that's all I did was trauma-based intervention, right? Then to come into research, where I'm training the next evolution of IDCs and doctors that are going to be doing JVTs on the ship or in the boondocks, out in the cuts, and that was one of the best moments of my life, was learning how to incorporate all these different facets of the dynamics of humanity to incorporate a better health. So I wrote out a paper called Hip Hop. Hip hop.
Hip Hop Anonymous?
Hip Hop Anonymous. Hip hop.
There you go.
Human intelligence and psychology, human optimization and performance, right? Hip hop.
Okay.
Right? And so I was really drafting up this wonderful paper, and for years and years and years, I go back and forth to it and I touch it up on it. And so when I hear about the ganglion block, that's one of the things that I'm going to start really diving into now. So I'm really happy you brought that up, because that people have mentioned it, but it's been one of those things that have been on, the back burner. Like I watched Total Recall when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the whole scenario where they're like, all right, just go ahead and take a seat. We're going to stab you in the neck with the needle. No.
The remake was good.
He got that back out of his nose, though, right?
Yeah, he was like, he did that whole like, the nut grabber, for your engine. The one.
The walnut holder. He just stuck it up his nose.
Yeah, it just opens up and then comes back. Yeah. Oh man, that movie was the shit. But yeah, like, so that bringing it up, ganglion blocks, bringing up cannabis. I really want to go back to cannabis really quick. Do you find
you have cannabis receptors on your ganglions already? Is that where you're going with this?
I was gonna. Yeah, go ahead. You sound like you got a better handle of it.
Oh no, dude, Doc. Sorry, that Doc. My Doc. He knows a thing or three about the pots.
So one of the biggest misconceptions is THC is just THC, and all the cannabinoids are okay. One gets you high one way, one gets you high another way. But no, there's hundreds of different cannabinoids in there, and we actually have cannabinoids receptors on our ganglions and on our nerves receptors. So if we weren't necessarily supposed to utilize this for something, why do we have receptors in our body for?
See, that's a great point. Which I go back. Tyler's cracking his
What are you laughing about?
I was like, I don't know where ganglions are, so I don't know if I have them anymore.
You still have nerve pain, so guess what, buddy? You got ganglions.
Doc, tell me the truth. Are my ganglions still there?
Sorry.
Hold on, let me stab you. Did it hurt?
It just creeped in and wouldn't leave. I'm sorry.
Intrusive thoughts are winning. Intrusive
I was
thoughts
like,
are
I
winning.
have no idea what or where a ganglion's at.
It is the firing sensor of a nerve.
How do you block something you don't know where it's at?
So I don't have some of my ganglies, but
Correct.
I got a
You are
bunch of
missing
ganglies
some.
left.
Correct. You are missing
Cool. Hey, the listeners needed to know that probably. There's a lot of people that probably didn't know what a gangly was. So
because the human anatomy as a whole is a very important thing to know, especially if you have one.
That's what, yeah, I got me an anatomy.
Especially if you.
So, like,
all right, sorry.
honestly,
please carry on with the ganglies.
My dad was like, "Hey, Joey, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do in life." When I was getting ready, out of high school, going to college, and fucking up with 2 jobs, and just trying to make things work. And I go to the military, and it was something that really really made sense. Was I'm interested in medicine, saved my life, right? And I mean it because we're talking about ganglions and all this shit, but the main reason why was because I could cheat, okay? Because I fucking have the answers right here. I have fingers. Cool. What do we call them? Phalanges. Fuck.
Quit bragging.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I got wrists. Carpal tunnels.
You're gonna say you have 10 of them.
He got wrists? Oh my god. Quit bragging.
Right? Oh shit.
Let me guess, you got feet too?
Oh my god.
He got 2 of them, bro.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't even got a wrist
ganglions
anymore. It's bolted to my forearm. Sorry. Carry on.
Did you hear what I said? I got all my ganglions.
I'm running low on ganglions, man.
You need to go to the ganglion store, brother.
Yeah, I have way less ganglions than you people.
Okay.
If nothing else was gotten out of this episode, they're gonna know what a ganglion is.
Somebody is. I still don't know what it is. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man. All right, so you got the ganglion injection. It's helped tremendously. Lance is back, Lance, the Lance that you know to be yourself. Would that be a fair statement?
I don't know if that person ever really comes back, but I don't want to be that person. The person I became the person I wanted to be, but I couldn't be because of the issues that were brought against me because of my PTSD and TBI. Since I got that shot, I have made myself a promise, no matter what type of uncomfortable situation I may go into, if there's something new and I want to explore it, I'm going to push myself to do it. And now I have the team and the friends behind me that are going to support me to do that, to make sure I can make it happen. So, dude, I mean, it's like literally been a fucking life changer.
I was going to say, the first time he got blown up, you were what, like 20, 22?
0.3.
I was going to say that, yeah, like the first time his brain box got rattled, he don't want to be that dude again.
Yeah.
I would say 23-year-old Ty can burn in hell where he's at. There's days I don't like 34-year-old Ty.
Yeah.
But
See, you bring up a very important part, though, Tyler, because, that's a part of the identity that I think we're all growing into one by one as gentlemen, of course, as ladies out there listening too. But we're all individually going through this journey of growth and development and overcoming adversity to prove the fact that we are who we are and we are what we are. And it doesn't necessarily mean what people call us or what we call ourselves. I get pretty damn denigrative. I really do. But that's the comedic side of me, and it comes out defensively, and I love it. I hear it from the both of you guys too, and I'm like, yeah, we vibe, right? That's the whole point of it. Yeah. But being able to say, hey, also, and we are building up a community with SFH, okay? We're building up resources with people to bond and to bring a better solution than what we're seeing right now. And that's something I can get behind 100%. I did want to ask a couple more questions about the products and services that you guys provide with SFH, and how do people get involved with SFH and, let's say buy something?
Absolutely.
So we have not mentioned, and it's funny that neither of us mentioned it. How weird. But for the life of our company, 50% of our net proceeds will always go to a charity. And eventually we hope to have a big stable of charities that, maybe even eventually, if you buy this particular shirt, it'll go to Girl Power, or if this particular shirt, it'll go to cancer research or something. But, so when we post up at an event and sell stuff, the 50% of that day's lot will go to whichever company had us at their event. And yeah, we sell clothing and all that via the website. Sorry, Lance, go ahead. You're holding on to something.
Awesome. No, you're good. He was going to direct you that way anyway, but go to our website, wearesfh.com. While you're there, please enter our mailing list to be the first to find out when we have new designs, where we're going to be at next. We have any speaking engagements coming up or events. Next event around the corner here in Florida is a suicide awareness event that we're doing called Rock to Stop Suicide. We do a lot of community outreach. We are so thankful to have the opportunity to work with so much awesome different types of organizations. We are now working with organizations not only cancer but trafficking, child molestation, just multiple things. So just all kinds of stuff.
I'm giddy about sister care a lot.
That's awesome. See, and that's important to do because what you guys are doing is the action part of what helps. I say reduce what we're seeing in the community. Okay, like, and I'm not just saying veterans. I mean it as a whole. You bring up first responders, law enforcement as well, and I go everybody in the space of service to others. I've seen a dramatic increase in suicide. Negative coping mannerisms or modalities, materials, stuff like that. So just having a resource where you can bond over the fact of adversity, right? I think adversity is one of the best things to bond over. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it was like, yeah.
Tyler said something.
He raised his hand real quick.
Not to be confused with trauma bonding.
Yes.
I would say these are two very different things, ladies and gentlemen.
Very different. Yeah. Why don't you go into the differences?
For the record.
Yeah, for the record.
Yeah, but I mean the true meaning behind community, which is what we're trying to build, is communication. Talk about the hardship. Put your freaking phone down and talk it out and figure it the fuck out. That type of deal. Communication. What happens when you start communicating with each other? You realize that you're really not that different, and unity becomes. And guess what? That builds community. That's what that's what the word's about. We're just bringing the meaning back into it.
That's why all the division's happening. Everyone stops talking to each other.
Yeah, and
the second you stop talking, it's getting easier for your brain to fight that person. Exactly. But if you start talking and have an honest and open conversation about whatever it may be, even if you disagree, even if you land all the way on agree to disagree, but have a civil conversation about the damn thing, it's the first step to get us all back to being one damn nation.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't have to agree on every fucking thing. We don't. Nor will we ever. We're not built that way.
Me and Lance don't agree on everything.
No.
See, and that's the thing too. I think society has been brainwashed into believing that we have to live in a utopia in order for anything to be functional. And I'm like, so like, we're talking a lot about, the whole, I'm still alive out of spite, I'm still fucking here, all this stuff. And I go, but the reality of it is it's a part of everything. We're a part of it all. Shit's going to fucking suck. You're going to get blown up sometimes, right? You're going to lose some limbs. You're going to lose some ganglions, all right? But the rest of your support team should be there to lift what you have left up, all the ganglions that are left, okay? And that's what I really love about the
And if you haven't found that tribe, you need to keep looking because it's out there for you.
Yeah.
I was saying.
Exactly.
I got down to 98 pounds. I was easier to carry.
You know what? It would be super fucking badass to see you like on like one of those hovercraft that aren't made for like full human beings yet, but it can handle your weight and you could just be fucking jetting around like one of those like drones.
I think you just go one way though because of his weight of the one arm. I think you just kind of go in circles.
My chair is basically a hoverboard.
Your chair. See, that's the thing too, is understanding.
I would say you got your computer in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Look up the Alley Chair by Segs for Vets. ALLY. And I say again, Segs. SEGS number 4 Vets.
Yeah, the other one's a totally different website that we do not promote.
Yeah, if you say it too fast, it sounds like you're saying sex for vets.
It does say segs for vets. Oh, segs. Like segways.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sierra
God.
Echo Golf.
You even
Sierra.
spelled it out.
I know.
Twice.
It's okay. Only my half of my retardations came out.
Steel Ace Cadet.
No, that's interesting. So Segs for Vets. That's mobilizing America's heroes. See, and that's
Yeah. I have one of those. It's literally a Segway that they figured out how to make it into a wheelchair. It's got 2 wheels and 4 legs.
dude, that is badass.
And it goes, what, 14 miles per hour?
12.
12.
He's like 12. I know exactly how fast that son of a bitch can go.
Oh no, yeah, and I took the seatbelt off instantly because if it ever started flipping, I don't want to be attached to it. But it's caused some grief. I've
The
busted some
seatbelt
shit up.
seems like a bad idea, actually, on that thing.
I don't know.
You want to strap me to a motorcycle? Like, God dang.
Right? Just strap you to a Tomahawk.
I want to be able to bail.
Yeah.
I want to be able to bail.
Well, God forbid I fall off of something into a body of water of some sort, and I have trouble with the fucking clasp or something. I'm strapped to a 175-pound thing that's gonna sit to the bottom. I'm mostly lungs. I float like a motherfucker.
So Tyler, you bring it up, right? And you're very, very comical about your injuries. You know, you've been able to develop a support and team. Has that been the key to kind of working through the adversities that you have that are very different from, you know, my stuff and Lance's stuff, but we mirror a lot of the same needs, which is, you know, pain control, modulation, support, love, caring, you know, genuine friendship, and, you know, that community. What is it, the number one thing that you think helps the most, or is it the entourage effect of it all?
I mean, the support is great. I never had to worry about what it would be like without it. Because my family, I was hit May 5th of 2010, and I landed at Bethesda, or I rolled into Bethesda on the ambulance bus from Andrews, on the 9th, and then was in a medically induced coma until the 18th. So my family was already there. My mother, father, both my brothers, and only one of them was married at the time. So his wife, were all there and watched me come off the thing and into the hospital, and then had 9 days to get used to the chunk of dude that is going to wake up and be their little brother or son. So by the time I woke up, it was my mom explaining to me what happened rather than some doctor I don't know. And then all the drugs they had me on it took me about a week or two to figure out that my dreams weren't reality and being awake was real, because I was having Afghanistan dreams. And in my brain, I hadn't left because it all got Control deleted. I don't remember the incident. I don't remember the day of. So I was checking all my guys on post, and then I woke up in a hospital. And my mom, this is that. So I never had to worry about what it would be like to have to do it alone. And then by the time I got worried about like who could ever love this thing, me and my now ex-wife started dating. We had 2 kids, did almost a decade together. So I'm lucky in that I didn't have to know what it was like to not have a support system. So I look back and I'm like, I mean, it was mostly my attitude, and I was happy and I was upbeat and I was doing my best to do this or do that. But the baseline ends up being that everyone was there for me without fail from the beginning on. And I've gradually, me and my ex are still dear friends. My children's stepfather is an awesome guy, also a dear friend. So like keeping those relationships strong was all too easy because they were there for me in my hardest times. So all I gotta do is be for them. Too easy.
I want to stop you right. And know that that's one of those things that everybody's like, wait a minute, what? The relationship that Tyler has with his ex and her now husband, right?
Mikey.
It is phenomenal. A lot of people can learn from that because they don't quabble over bullshit. They're there about the kids and they take care of the kids and they do what's meant to be good. And those kids see that, and it's spectacular. Tyler's very modest about how they make things work, but it's amazing because it's very rarely seen in today's age.
we do our best to be kind of loud about it so that we can hopefully motivate and inspire people to do the same. Because the people who use their kids as weapons to get back at their ex deserve to burn in hell, along with fucking Hitler. Like, that is a straight up egregious and unforgivable offense, in my opinion. If you're going to let your own pride and hubris and a need for vengeance or something drive how you're going to both treat your kids and the person you created them with.
Now, some situations may warrant.
Oh, no. Yes, trust me. There
Now,
are
there's some
splits.
situations out there that you're like, nah, dude.
Oh, no. I've heard me some splits where I'm just like, ooh, like, hopefully karma's gonna punch him or her in the throat real fucking fast. But we always talked about from the beginning that no matter what, if we ever did fail as a couple, we would never take it out on the kids. And if no other vow was honored to the end but that one, I don't care. But and she made it easy because the fella she replaced me with, not only does he have so many limbs and just a glorious beard, he's a great guy. Like, he's a dude I never had to worry about being around the kids or would, mistreat her in front of them or anything like that. So yeah, it wasn't some monster drinking Kyle who was going to put hands on her.
Right.
So like it was as easy as it could have.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, me and Zoe invited him to join us at the father-daughter dance and stuff like that. So anything that we can do to help enrich the kids' lives, because they ultimately need good relationships. Besides food and water and sleep and clean clothes, they need good relationships. Healthy people and people who love them for just being them. So
Yep.
I would never do anything to detract from someone who wants to be a positive influence in my children's life.
That's beautiful, man. That is straight up beautiful. As coming from a kid that went through my parents' rough divorce, I can tell you that even now, like with my sisters and their kid, it's plural now. It's an interesting thing because I as a kid going through it, I always was wondering, like, did I do something? Was I wrong? The example of good relationships wasn't necessarily there. So hearing that you're not only making the effort, but that you're doing it in a way to kind of ring a bell and say, hey, let's step it the fuck up, society, and do what's right for the kids.
And the true meaning behind co-parenting, is what they're doing at the end of the day.
And that's really
difficult. I ultimately have no responsibility to Ashley or Michael, but they are two of the people who are helping me raise my kids. They have them half the time. So yeah, I'm never going to be a hitch in the giddy up for sure.
See, and that's a beautiful thing to hear. And especially because you tie it in with the whole support example that you received, and you're putting it forward and you're emulating the best mannerisms, the best strategy and psychology, or philosophy behind it, which isn't about you. The whole series of story of philosophers. Right? There we go. Philosophizers. Then one guy's right. You plant a tree to provide shade for the future. The fucking trees for the future, okay, guy?
I didn't do it. Are you smoking on the Lolo?
No. The whole philosophizers is just it's one of those times when you say a word and you really realize how retarded you are, and you're like, wow, that came out of my mouth.
Oh no, I love it when a word really gives me a hard time for absolutely no reason. Like, look here, bitch, I'm not a dummy. I can say words.
I know some words and such. But no, it's one of those important things, I think, as parents, as a father, as people that see that in our society, to support that and say, hey, not only are you doing a great job in these aspects, right, but you're really hitting the hammer really good on the nail on the head here with raising the kids and having those type of relationships and showing those strengths and not caving into the weakness, So that's really awesome. I really dig that, man. So Lance,
I appreciate that
for you, no problem. For you, Lance, when you went through your treatment plan, and let's say where you were at, because, you know, Tyler did say for years you were the quiet guy with the service dog, right?
Yeah.
What was the main support system or strategy that you utilized to still fucking be here until, let's say, the Ganglion Block?
Oh, my wife, definitely.
I would say, Amber.
Yeah.
Sorry, let the angel
Yeah, my
sing.
wife, definitely. I would be dead 3 times over if it went for her.
Hell yeah.
That's beautiful.
Amber's the one.
Yeah.
She's a Marine as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So with that relationship, I'm going to dig a little. Do you guys have like
Go for it.
the conversation of, you know, being the corpsman and the Marine and, you know, just the...
I was always senior to her, so it's no big deal.
Oh, wow.
She's going to kick my ass when she sees this. But
That's hilarious.
or hears it, but it's awesome. I enjoy that too. It's no big deal.
and that's the fun part, is to role play. No.
I'm glad you can take a hit, bro.
No, on a serious note, there were multiple very, very dark times, and more than one time in those situations, it was my wife that came to my aid and talked me off that ledge. So yeah, it definitely the only reason why I was still fucking here prior to the SGB shot was because of my wife.
That's beautiful. See, and that's something I think we all have to be grateful for, you know, as not only as gentlemen in the hemisphere having conversations like this, but giving the true recognition and validation to all those people in our support team. Like I'll be right first person to raise my hand and say, dude, my wife, same. My saving grace, literally cutting the rope off, you know, the fucking down off the garage in order to make me still here, right? Like, so having all of those trials and tribulations and going through it with that person and hearing that your person was there for you and having that same strength until you got the ganglion block. Now I want to focus on Lance a little bit there. After the ganglion block, right? Was your relationship with your wife better or did it change? You said fuck yeah. You said fuck yeah.
It was, everything was better, bro. When I tell you it was what changed me to help me. I mean, like I said, I still have PTSD symptoms and stuff, but I'm in control of them. And I mean, and wanting to go out and spend time with your wife, but your body and your mind physically telling you can't do it for years, and being trapped in that mentality because of not even fear, because you don't even fucking know why, if that makes sense. And then to kind of have your eyes open and like, oh shit, this is what it means to have fun again. I kind of enjoy this. And I mean, that's pretty much how it worked.
I love the way you explain it. And Tyler's over there dying.
He almost died in Mexico.
Oh shit! What happened in Mexico?
None of your business.
Jeez, I'm not a cop.
No, I'm just kidding. Someone may have over imbibed on edible treats.
Oh Lord!
And he kind of walked into the pool.
Well, what had happened was someone may have forgot that they had the edibles, and then started doing the smoky smoke, and then I didn't drown.
That's good.
Yo, and that was the thing. When he came out, he was a zombie. It was hilarious. He just and like I could barely see his eyes, and I was a foot away from him. And then
that
he
was
just
an
kind of
mistake.
He just kind of down into the pool, and I was just like, "Hey, humans, make sure he doesn't die, please." Like,
oh my God,
we had people standing by, like you had to do a head count, make sure Lance's head was above water.
I finally know who my friend really is.
Yeah. Dude, as soon as he stumbled into the water, I was like, "Hey, bipeds, everyone with 2 hands. If you lose track of his head, freak out.
Just scream, say something.
Yeah, let's go. Wave him around. Someone get Lance out from the depths.
Yeah, the depths of the get his ass out of water. That man cannot breathe underwater. I'm telling you.
Well, supposedly I just decided to float and look up into the sky for a while. So.
Oh no, you crushed it. You autopiloted hard. It was great.
Those are the best. I mean, honestly, it's the best because you're relinquishing control and you're just enjoying the moment. Honestly, when you said that right now, that it made everything better, and it helped me feel that I could have fun again, or like this is something I do like. Me and the kids were just in the pool the other day. We got one of those above ground pools. Me and the wife built that up front in the grass, and we got into it. And I'm sitting there playing with the boys, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but like if you run around in a circle,
make a whirlpool.
Yeah, you make a whirlpool, right? And then you float in it and you just drift around because I used to love cruising out in the river, right? And we were doing that, and like for hours we were just outside playing, having fun again. And I came in, and my wife was like, asked me, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good." Just like super alive, like I'm super stoked. Like me and the kids were playing in the pool. Oh my god! And we did a whirlpool, and then we were riding the current. Huh, boys? Boys, tell mommy we're riding the current. Like just having a good old time into it.
Those endorphins were working, Bubba.
Exactly. And then I noticed it that in the evening when I came down off of it, that major shift of riding on cloud nine back down to the depths of hell. And I mean it because I was just on it again. I was like, and me and my wife had a longer conversation.
Well, you see, the thing is I didn't, with my PTSD, I never got to cloud nine. I was always down in darkness. The best thing in the world could be happening in front of me, and I could go.
Oh man.
I wanted to feel it, but I didn't feel anything. So yeah.
Do you think that was your protective mechanism at hand? Because you brought that up about the Marines, that you remained distant to kind of create a barrier to protect yourself. Did you find yourself doing that with the family too? Because I found myself doing that for a very long time with my kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. I very much would seclude myself, and when I say put myself in a closet, there were literally times where I put myself in a closet so that people could not find me.
Yeah. And was that more because of what you were telling yourself or what other people were telling you?
Yeah, well, it's in my own head.
I was gonna say he didn't have a lot of naysayers in his corner at all. Right. Let alone, I don't know if any. He would have been the loudest naysayer in the room by a lot.
Yeah, see, and that's something that I resonate
about himself
with.
Only. Sorry,
yeah.
Real quick.
I understood what you meant.
Okay,
I got you. I'm not sitting there, Lance over here just being a dick to everybody. No, like you're just being the worst dick to yourself.
Oh, I was. No, I absolutely was a total dick, man, and I can own up to it. I made some pretty shitty decisions, and I said some pretty shitty things to some pretty great people in my life because of PTSD.
And yeah, I bet most of those were aimed at the one you would like to say them to least.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that I'm happy we're talking about, because I find this to be the most difficult conversations to have with people about PTSD. Is sometimes the shit that comes out of my mouth isn't what I really mean or want or think or desire for myself or you or anybody else.
I luckily, and that's what when I say my wife's freaking awesome. I mean, she stood by long enough to understand that. Well, I hear what's coming out of his mouth, but that's not really what he wants to come out of his mouth. It's just vomit. You know what I mean?
I do. For years.
Well, she was coming from a unique perspective anyways. She wasn't some lady he found along the way. She is a proud veteran. She's a Marine. She knows how bad it can be.
And if y'all got married young as shit herself too, like
So fortunate in that she had there was already a litmus test in her head about all of it anyways, rather than just like, oh, okay, so broken veterans suck, I'm out of here.
Honestly, dude, you mention it like candidly like that, but my wife
happens that way.
Yeah, my wife had that perspective for many years. Like we met, she thought I was perfect, all the great things in the world. And then when I started getting help for alcohol at the time, she gave me the ultimatum, straight up. It's all tomatoes. If you don't stop drinking, I'm gone at that time. And that's what really pushed me to getting better. But if it wasn't for that, I really don't think I would be alive. Like the same, same.
I was trying to deal with my PTSD on my own. It took a very scary situation, me waking up to for my wife to pretty much say the same thing. When my oldest was smaller, basically go get help, or me and your son are gone, and you'll never see us again. And I went and got fucking help.
See, and that's the decision that at what point were you at when you made that decision? Were you still in the military or not?
I was still in the military. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got officially diagnosed with PTSD in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to find things to help with PTSD in 2007. I hated being home. I loved being on deployment. Um, and that was my comfort zone. That became my comfort zone. Um, and it made it hard to get to know anyone when I got out or anything like that, because I had just built up that wall at that point. And like I was saying, I would be the one that would find that dark room and go in to myself just to be away from everyone. So because I felt like I would, if I'm in the room, I'm the problem.
You felt like a burden?
Yes, always, for a very long time.
Do you still feel that way now, or does this ganglion block and the time and the support, the totality of where you're at now? My question is, even though you may be
Where
telling
I'm
yourself
at
this,
now is night and day, and the shot is what led me down this path to put me where I am now.
got you.
The shot was like that first stepping stone, and the friendships and the close knit friends that I have now compared to what I had before. That was another big step to get me where I am now. Seeing that there's so many more people out there like me that just want to help other fucking people. That's what's got me to where I'm at right now. Now, I can't say it's one freaking thing. It's just things just keep growing, and luckily the steps are going up and they're not going down now, and I'm going to take it.
See, that's so fucking exciting for me to hear that from you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through it right now for myself. Like I was telling you about the kids last night and having fun. And then, later in the evening, I talked to my wife, and, I'm just like, I feel like I missed out on their life, and I haven't missed a day, which is the greatest part, and the worst part is that feeling of when I feel good, I feel worse about it, because I feel like I could have done better for years, or I should have been doing this for years, or I should have tried something, like, you get that.
I do
would
nothing
say
about the past, brother. You live in the present. The future's in front of you.
exactly. But I still have that rumination type of symptomology that really controls the aspects of perspective, right?
Yeah.
So that with hearing you say it, I'm like, dude, fuck yeah, okay. So just keep plugging away, just fucking keep plugging away. Maybe think about getting this ganglion blocky thingy, and then maybe try some other shit. Like Tyler, I'm 100% with cannabis. I think cannabis is a great medicine. I think kratom.
So does he.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
but it wasn't the only thing he needed, and that's the thing with all of it.
I mean,
is you can mismatch therapies and treatments and courses of action all day, and until you find what works for you. If you need to take a hero dose of fucking psychedelics because it's gonna unfuck all the shit that you've taught yourself, which is what you just said.
Environment, whatever, find what's gonna help you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
The intrusion, sir.
You were talking for a real long time, and I was just sitting here chilling.
Sometimes I get excited and my mouth overrides my brain. I don't know, something like that.
If anyone gets that, it's me, and you know it. He called me something under his breath a second ago. He's like, bitch, you do this all the time. But yeah, because of my brain, I get excited and I say whatever it is I'm thinking pretty quickly. But a lot of people, like you were just saying, you worry about yesterday, and you snapped at your kid when they didn't earn it, or you snapped at your lady because, again, she didn't earn it, or you're hiding away in the corner because those are your coping mechanisms. Are they healthy? Fuck no. But the being able to find the things that will either rewire those things or show you that if it happened yesterday, not only is there nothing you can do about it, but That's it. I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
you all you got is now and today and what's going on. So if yesterday sucked, do what you can to make today better. You know, with me, a big thing with the kids was always, um, especially being ignored makes me want to rip heads off. So if I'm talking and I'm getting blatantly ignored, I will lose my shit. I'm a very calm dude and a very happy dude about so much, and there's there's so much stuff that should bother the ever living piss out of me that I'll just be giggling about and not caring about, and I know skin off my teeth. I don't care.
Very
But
true. Stuff will piss me and Brian off that should totally piss Tyler off, and Tyler's like, they said it about me. I'm like, they shouldn't be saying it at fucking all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm doing flying fornication about that person. But when I end up doing something like that, I'm talking to my daughter and she's got my mouth and her mom's attitude, which is a deadly combination.
Going.
Huh?
And then she gets the eyes going.
Oh my God. Oh, y'all make fun of me for that shit, but it works every time. When I'll say something to her, and I'll give her something. Hey, you know that. She's 8, but thinks she's 13.
Oh my God.
And she'll hit me with the, and I'll be like, I'll literally from across and make her physically, and I'm like, yeah,
right,
undo it right now, like an old school odometer. Get that mile off now. I need her to do it, or I'm gonna keep freaking out.
I was like, did you just tell her to roll them back?
Oh, y'all heard me do it. That was what it was. They were here and she did it, and I yelled at her about it, and they were like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I'm like,
that is hilarious.
Roll her fucking eyes at me. We're gonna get that back down to no infractions before we carry on. But when I'm trying to say something and then she'll pipe up,
roll them back.
Yeah, she'll pipe up in the middle of what I'm saying when whatever she piped up with would have been answered if she'd have just shut the fuck up and listened.
Yeah.
So being interrupted and being fucking ignored are the quickest ways to my rage button. So there are times when I've lost it on my kids over a molehill that I made into a mountain. But just like the shit with the ex and her man, I'll swallow my pride and go apologize and be like, look, I took that too far. I should not have yelled like I just did. I apologize for the volume that I just presented. And then I'll hit her with her infractions and we'll try to come to an understanding. Because that is something that was sorely missed in my house growing up. Neither of my parents could be wrong. They were both infallible creatures. My dad still is.
I think it was just the way of parenting at that time.
Well, and my dad's parents died when he was 13 and was the middle of 5 or 6. Yeah, the middle of 5, and they had adopted another one. But had to help raise everybody from 13 on, and then joined the Navy at 18, and then did 20 years. And by the end of that, he'd had his own family to include me, the third of 3 boys. And he now, when people keep dying on him, friends and family and stuff, he's coming closer with his humanity and realizing like, oh shit, I need to be more emotionally open with my family. I need to talk to people. I need to do this. I need to like bend some or show interest in what they're talking about. Something. I've noticed it over the last couple of years, but yeah, that was always our thing. It was just he said something, you couldn't have a rebuttal, even if it wasn't back talk. And that was it. You had to bite your tongue and stop. And as I got grown, if I had a point to make and he was trying to not make me, I fucking went for it. And then it got me choked a couple times. Not a battered child, but I've had hands put on me. Right. And I earned them. There was one time I bled that wasn't my fault. And it wasn't technically his fault either. He was, but I was trying to stop him from doing something stupid, and I got my shirt all ripped up about it. But I chose that's what you're supposed to do anyways, right? You're supposed to take all the shit you liked about your parents and what they did, and try to subtract all the shit that they did you didn't like. Maybe even throw in some stuff that you think might be fun. And then when your kids grow up, you're going to fuck up shit for them too. So they're going to do the same damn thing. They're going to be like, all right, I'm going to be I'm going to be way more emotionally open with my kids, like my dad was, as opposed to grandpa. And but I won't yell at them all, whenever this happens, or I'm going to have two arms, or whatever they want to do.
The parents are always the ones responsible for screwing up the kids.
I'm gonna have four limbs, and he's gonna deal with that shit.
There you go.
I'll be so sad if they end up losing something, but at the same time, I'll be in a very advantageous position to show them how to do life without it.
See, and that's looking out on the bright side, right? No matter what, you make I would say a just comment like that, of course, but that is the most scary aspect of being a parent, is thinking that your kids are going to go through any of the adversity that we go through. My God, me and Heidi, my wife, talk about this all the time because of my experience with the military, right? Would you, everybody asks, would you ever let your child serve in the military? I'm like, I would hope that I could parent them in a way where they wouldn't have to see the military as an opportunity. Not necessarily that it's not for everybody or it is for everybody, but I want to parent them in a way where they see the military as a good opportunity for some, for others, but that for themselves, the opportunities that they can create, much like yourselves with the entrepreneurial spirit, going on with the SFH, I want to show them that they can create what they want in this world and not need to depend on anything. Because here's the catch. If you're going to serve in anything, whether it be the state, whether it be the federal government, the military, a business, right? It's going to come at the cost of what you're going to put up for that family or for yourself. The business is not going to give a shit about you, okay? The day you die, they're going to have a replacement definitely within 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
Especially in the military, right? Like definitely. Even though their retention and their what do they call it? The recruitment rate is down. But to be able to say, hey, look, there's a billion different options, right? Like what you gentlemen are doing with SFH and what you with your families and your relationships and trying all these different things and getting off the medications that were making you feel a certain way and trying different medications that help you feel a better way, developing those relationships and building the actual character, moral and value and principalities in those around you. That's I want to say invigorating. It's inspiring because, like I was telling you, like last night, I was going through it, looking at pictures of my kids when they were babies and crying like a little big old man bitch. Right? And I do. And I'm very open about it because children to me are the most precious things on the planet. And it's not a weird thing. It's not, a fucking Disneyland type of style thing, Willy Wonka weirdo shit. It's
right.
The truth of it is all the answers for the future are going to come from our children. Okay. All the problems that we're seeing now, all of the debt, all of the hate, all of the turmoil, there's going to be a little kid out there that's going to, start that next business, that's going to start that next robot, start that next ganglion block trial for, a higher development of fucking, insurance, right? Or acceptability. All of these different things, there's somebody out there that's going to take those next steps. And we can take those next steps that we can take to help inspire those kids to do those. So I kind of want to wrap it up here, gentlemen. I want to ask you guys a couple more questions a little bit about what we can do to help out SFH and support both of you as individuals and, of course, as a team with SFH.
All right, awesome. I'll start off this time. So, again, we are SFH.com. Join the newsletter. Be the first one to find out what our new designs are, where we're going to be at next. Join the podcast, the 1 and 3rd podcast, SFH Presents. We also have what's called SFH Shares on Facebook. What that is it's a page for any of you nonprofits out there that want to share what you're doing in your community. Please reach out and join SFH Shares, and we will share that on that site. That site is specifically to do that. And We Are SFH is our Facebook primary page where you can get all the motivation and learn all about our different styles and designs that we have. What else you got, Ty?
You said everything I can think of. But yeah, like every social media is We Are SFH. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is We Are SFH. And then my thing would just be keep on keeping on. If you're going through something, reach out to the people who love you, ask for help, get help. Make sure you don't give up. Make sure you're turning over every stone. If not for you, for your family. If your family ain't worth it, find something worth holding on for, and then start making steps towards thriving. Because if we've seen the amount of people come from the edge to be where they are now, I know you can do it. I believe in you. I see you. Keep on keeping on.
Internet. Hello. Alltså sen idag örs när man får då och den ska jag så jag för när man representerar och det är inte så att jag ska bara shit.
Vad är det ni det ser? Oj!